So first things first, as the switch, we want to cut a bit of wire a little bit longer than it needs to be. About 11 centimeters, somewhere around there to start off with. Again, same process as before. We want to strip the ends of the wires on two ends. One on that end. And again, one on this end. Oh, like that. Again, making sure that it's multi-core wire, not single-core wire. And then we want to just twist these wires together nice and neat. Like that one. Take that one, do the same. Twist them together nice and neatly. Take the two of these, clip them into our clamp. Like that. Bit of solder, and we want to tin these by simply putting a bit of solder on the tip of the soldering iron, getting it from below, and then just running the solder into the wire all the way along. The same on the other side over there, all the way along. So we end up with two bits of wires that have been tinned nicely. These need to be trimmed down. They're a bit too long. So trim them down to about that length. We then need an LED. Right, first things first, we get ourselves our LED over here, and I want to clip it into the clamp like that, recognizing this one is the positive, that is the long leg, the positive leg, and this is the short leg, the negative leg. That's a bit bent. What I'm going to do is trim this down to where this little knot is. There's a knot over here. Trim it down there. Trim it down there. So we've got our two things. I can remember that this side's positive, that side's negative. Again, we want to tin these. So a little bit of solder on there. Bit of tinning like that. And again, remembering that this side is positive, red is positive, so I want the red on the positive side. I'm going to clamp that in. Again, do not hold the wire too close to that, because when you hold it too close to that, it'll burn your fingers. So you want it a little bit further away. Rest your arm on the table nicely, maybe one finger there if you can. And you need to try and keep this steady and just hold them together as they solder, like such. There's the red on there. Again, same with the black. Hold it like that. Oh, a little bit shaky myself. Hold it like that. I can now check these are now just a little bit of a pull on them. I can see that both of those are where they should be. I then want to get myself two bits of heat shrink. These simply slide over the end of these. One there. Down like that. The other one there. Down like that. And I want to push these right up against as far as I can get them onto the LED. Like that. So you can see I got those right up against the back of the LED like that. And again, clip this in here again. Now I'm going to use this part of the soldering iron, and I'm simply going to just heat up the heat shrink on the back and the front, both ends. You don't want to spend too long on this, obviously you'll melt it eventually, but just gently heating up around it, and it will shrink onto the cable. And we then end up with our heat shrink all nice and stuck on the cable. Last thing I want to do is get that again down there, and I want to cut this down. There's my 9 centimeter or 90 millimeter mark. And trim those down, and then I can strip the ends of these wires, twist them together, and that gives us our LED ready to go on. When it comes to the board, you can see on the board over there, there is our LED. There's the positive, which is the round side, so the red wire goes on the round side and the black wire goes on there, straight through, solder it on the opposite side.